Hi and welcome to yoga. My name is Brooke. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we will be stretching out those hamstrings. So with that, if you have a yoga strap or a resistance band, either of those items are great. Maybe even a towel can help, a long towel. So anything that you think would work, go ahead and grab it and we'll get started. All right, great. So we're going to go ahead and get started in a seated position. So make your way there. We'll bring your hands to heart center and we'll take 3 rounds of breath together, inhaling through our nose and exhaling out of our nose. So here we go. One last breath here. We inhale here, exhale, start to bring those arms up through heart center, and then inhale at the top, exhale, slowly lower those hands. We're going to plant that right hand, left palm comes up, and we reach over, gaze follows, if that's comfortable for your neck, and we switch to the other side, left arm down, right arm up, and 2 more times each way. And final time. And final side. And back through center. We'll sweep those arms up. Big inhale. Exhale, palms down. We fold forward. Plant your hands. And if you're able to, you can walk your hands a little bit farther. Just make sure those sit bones are on the ground evenly. Those left and right sit bones. And drop your head. Take 3 breaths here. And then walk your hands back, sitting up nice and tall. So whichever leg was on bottom is now going to be moved onto the top. Sit up tall, sitting evenly from left to right sit bone. Big inhale as we sweep our arms overhead. Exhale, we fold forward. Plant those hands and drop your head. Walk your hands back. Come up to a nice tall seated position. Sweep those arms overhead with a big inhale. Interlace those hands. Press your palms up to the ceiling. Let your gaze follow if that's comfortable for your neck. And then exhale, let it go. Bring your hands to your shoulders and then have your elbows in line with your shoulders. We're going to tap our elbows in front of us and then press our elbows behind us. Whatever your range of motion, do it best for you and how it feels good. So maybe your elbows don't touch. Maybe your elbows don't open so wide. That's okay. 1 more each way. And then we'll come back to center. And we'll let that go. We'll bring our hands down to the mat. We're going to come to all fours. Drop those knees. You want your knees underneath your hips. And you want your hands underneath your shoulders. Our abdominals are active during our cat and cow, which is what we're doing next. So big inhale here. Pull those abdominals in. Exhale, drop our head and round through our spine. Inhale, keep those abdominals in. My heart presses forward and my gaze comes up. 2 more times. We exhale, rounding through that spine. Inhale, heart forward, abdominals engaged. Last time. And then we come back to center. Strong arms. Open up your knees wide, big toes touch. Sit those hips back and walk your hands forward. Come into our child's pose. Drop your forehead to the mat and take 5 rounds of breath here. Then walk your hands by your head. Press yourself up. Bring those knees underneath your hips. And then from here, we'll come to our downward dog by tucking our toes, pressing firmly through our hands, and bringing our hips up and back. My feet are hip distance apart. My hands are evenly pressed into the mat. I press my hips back. I let my heels become heavy. Keep those abdominals active. 2 more breaths here. We're getting into those hamstrings, so we'll be in our downward dog a lot today. Bring that right leg high. Look at your hands and bring it all the way through. We're coming to pyramid pose, so that means both of our feet face forward and our legs are straight. We firm up our quads, pressing through our arms, pressing through our feet, we reach our arms overhead. And then exhale through heart center. So with this pose, we're going to try to keep our torso nice and tall, and we're going to come into a forward fold position. So your hands can be at your heart center, pull your abdominals in, and then roll your shoulders back and down, trying to activate those shoulder blades, the muscles in the back of the top portion of your body, squeezing them together. Not a lot, not real hard, but just activating them. From here, we hinge forward. And once you start to feel that stretch in your hamstrings, so the back of your legs, you'll stop. But if you're able to, with a flat back and abdominals engaged, come a little bit deeper into this pose, you can. And breathe. And we can press ourselves back up. And then we sweep our arms overhead. Big inhale, exhale, start to bend into your knees. Fold yourself forward, plant your hands, and we'll step back into that plank. We'll take ourselves through chaturanga. So we'll lower ourselves halfway, untuck those toes, and then press yourself away from the mat. If you need to, you can drop your legs to the mat. That's okay. Just try to firm up your quads, keeping them active. Then we retuck those toes, and we start to press our hips up and back. Coming into that downward dog, we'll hold it here for 3 rounds of breath. Lift that left leg high. We'll come to the other side. We look at our hands. We bring that left foot all the way forward. We can start to step our right leg forward. Both toes face forward. We straighten our legs and we sweep our arms up overhead. Big inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart center. And this time in our pyramid pose, we're going to bring our arms behind us by sweeping our arms overhead. Big inhale. And then exhale, reach behind you, interlace those fingers, drop those knuckles down. And again, we're squeezing the shoulder blades together, but this time we're really squeezing them together. Pull your abdominals in and then exhale, forward fold. Go as slow as is comfortable for you. This time you can let your back round a little bit. Keep your legs straight though, firm up those quads, so squeeze the front of your legs, the thighs. 3 more breaths. And then press those hands up to the ceiling. Once you're up nice and tall, let go of those fingers. Awesome. Sweep those arms overhead. Big inhale. Bend through your knees as you fold yourself forward. Plant your hands and step back into plank. We'll work our way through another chaturanga. Big inhale here. Exhale, we lower halfway. Untuck our toes and press ourselves away from the mat. Strong arms, strong legs. Shift your hips up and back as you tuck your toes. Coming into your downward dog. 3 rounds of breath here. And we'll come back to that right side. We'll bring that right leg up. We'll look at our hands. We'll bring it all the way through. This time we're coming to our warrior 1. So we bend into that front leg. We step our left leg out. So it's slightly wider than our hips and it's at a 45-degree angle. Once we get that footing, we press evenly into our feet and we sweep our arms overhead. I want you to really bend into that front knee and find length through that back left leg. Abs are in and hips are forward. We're reaching those arms. 2 breaths here. And then we're going to bring our hands to heart center. We're going to open up to a wide leg stance. And so I'm going to switch my feet real quick so when I open up, I find you. So stay right there in your warrior 1. And then once I face you now, we can start to turn. We're going to pivot on that back foot and then pivot on that right foot. And our feet are parallel towards each other. We stand up nice and tall. And there's 2 options here. We're going to start with the first one first. We start to sit our hips to the right. Our left toes turn up to the ceiling. And then we come to the other side. And if you want to get deeper into this pose, you can start to sink your hips down. You can start to lengthen out through that left leg a bit more. And then once you're there, you can just walk from side to side, getting into those hamstrings. We'll do 2 more each way. So whether you're standing up nice and tall and your hands are on your thighs or your hips, just keep moving. And then finish up your last one here, making it even from side to side. And then we'll come back to center, come up nice and tall all the way up. Great. And then we'll start to pivot towards the front of the mat, step forward, and we're going to move through a full flow. So sweep those arms overhead. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Inhale here, exhale, find that halfway lift. That means we find length through our spine. We find a nice straight back. And then our hands are at our shins, our thighs, or maybe if you are really good at having that straight back, they come to the ground. Inhale here, exhale, plant those hands, hop or step back into your plank. From here, we lower halfway. Untuck those toes, press yourself away, and shift your hips back as you start to tuck your toes. We'll now come to the other side. We lift that left leg high, coming to warrior one. Left leg comes forward. Right foot steps out to the side. It's at a 45-degree angle. We bend through our left leg as we reach our arms overhead. Big inhale here. You hold that while I switch. Real quick, we're still on our left side. Our left leg is forward. I'm just getting ready so we can open up to that wide leg stance and I can face you. One more breath here. And then this time we're going to open up our arms as we turn our feet. Our feet are parallel. We can drop our arms. So we're in this wide leg stance. We're going to sweep our arms overhead. And this time we're going to find a wide leg forward fold. So wherever you'd like to be, maybe you place your hands on your thighs. And that's enough of a stretch for you. Or you can sweep your arms all the way down to the floor. I just want you to keep those legs nice and strong and long. And we breathe 3 more breaths here. And then we'll take our hands, place them in between our legs, and we'll start to press ourselves up nice and tall. Great. And so here we are, nice and tall. Turn that left foot forward. Step that right foot forward with it. We come through a flow. So big inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, we swan dive down to the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, find that halfway lift. Inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Let's hold our forward fold here. Getting into those hamstrings. Let the crown of your head hang heavier towards the ground. Let your legs get a little bit straighter than they were last time. One more breath here. Plant those hands and hop or step back into your plank. This time though, we're going to drop to our knees. Those knees are going to come right underneath our hips. And we're going to start to take this right leg and bring it forward. So we're in our low lunge. With that, we'll sit our hips back as we straighten through this right leg. And if you'd like to come up tall and place your hands on your thighs, that's an absolutely great option. Or if you'd like to get deeper into this pose, you forward fold, plant your hands on either side, and let your head and torso become heavy. We'll take 4 breaths here. And then from here, we're going to start to plant our foot, bending into our knee, plant our hands on either side, and then start to bring that leg out to the right. So let me face you. My right foot is in line with my left knee. My hands are underneath my hips. And I'm going to plant my right hand. I'm going to take my left arm, and I'm going to reach for my foot. And then I'm going to come back to center. We're going to do that 2 more times. So that left arm reaches for the right foot. And back to center. Last time we hold it. So reach for those toes and hold it here for 3 more breaths. 1 more breath. Come back to center. Bring that left knee next to the right. We're going to take a child's pose. So keeping those knees underneath our hips. Sit our hips back, and then our arms come on either side of our legs. Palms face up. We round through our shoulders and drop our head to the mat. And then we can walk our hands by our head, place our hands by our head and press ourselves up. We'll come to the other side. So those knees are underneath our hips. Hands are underneath our shoulders, and we bring that left leg through. Once it's there, we start to shift our hips back, turn those toes up to the ceiling and lengthen through your left leg. Again, this is an option to sit up nice and tall if that's enough of a stretch for you. Or you can exhale and forward fold. Get deeper into that stretch. And then we grow tall, press that foot into the mat. And then once we're there, we take that left leg long, we plant that foot and it's right in line with my right knee. My hands underneath my hips, my right hand reaches for my left foot, and we're here for 3. We hold it on the third one. There's our second one. And now here's our third. We'll hold it here. And then we'll come back to center, bring that knee in. We'll tuck our toes and press ourselves back into our downward dog. We're going to hold it here. Take 5 rounds of breath here. And we'll look at our hands. We'll lift our right leg up. Bring it all the way through. We'll come to pyramid. Step that left foot forward. Both legs are straight. Both toes face forward. And we press ourselves up. Big inhale here. Exhale. We fold ourselves forward. We can round through our back. We can press our arms wherever feels good. Whether it's our thigh, our shin, or all the way down to the ground. Firm up those quads. Keep those legs long. Let's take 5 breaths here. And then we'll bend into our knees, plant our hands, and we're going to step that right leg back and then step that left leg back, coming to our plank. And then from here, we'll go take ourselves through a chaturanga. And now we'll come to that left side, so lift that left leg high. Look at your hands, bring it all the way through. Step that right leg back, or right leg forward, straighten through your legs. Press into your feet, reach your arms up. Big inhale, and then exhale with straight legs. Reaching your hands wherever they can reach, to your thigh, to your shin, or all the way to the ground, and breathe. And from here, we'll plant our hands. We'll step that left leg back, step our right leg back. Let's take ourselves through a chaturanga. Lower halfway, untuck those toes, press yourself up, and then press yourself back. Let's take our last downward dog here. We're going to be here for 5 breaths, really stretching out those hamstrings, finding length through our spine. Pull those abdominals in, turn your triceps in towards each other, and evenly press through all 10 fingers. 2 more breaths here. And then we can drop those knees all the way down to the mat. Cross those ankles over each other and then sit to your hips behind. Here's where we'll take our stretchy band or our strap. And we'll use it for a couple exercises. The first one we're going to do is just a figure 4. So I take my left leg and I cross my left ankle over the top of my right knee. Both of my feet are flexed. I sit up nice and tall. And then I start to wrap this strap around my right foot, and I pull that right foot closer to me. And then with a nice straight spine, I start to fold myself forward using my strap. Now, if you don't have a strap, you don't need one. That's fine. You can just sit up nice and tall here. Place your hands on your left leg. Wherever you're at, we're going to be here for about 10 more seconds. And release. And then we'll switch legs. So that left leg comes long. That right ankle crosses over that top of the left knee. Both of our feet are flexed. You take that strap, you wrap it around your left ball of your foot, you sit up tall. Pull that foot closer to you, that left foot, and then start to lean forward with a nice straight back. And release. Go ahead and cross that right leg. And we're going to take it to a wide leg forward fold. So just open up those legs as wide as you can. But we want our legs straight. That's the goal. So whether that means that you have a smaller stance, that is a-okay, or we'll still get into those hamstrings. We'll sit up tall on those hip bones. We'll flex our feet. And what we're going to do here is we're going to try to reach for our feet. Again, if they only reach your thighs or your shins, do what feels good for you. Pull those abdominals in and start to lean your torso forward as you grab whatever you can reach and breathe. Keep those feet flexed. Press those hamstrings to the mat. We're getting into those hamstrings. And we can come out of it. Bring your legs together. Flex those feet. Sweep those arms overhead. And let's find a forward fold here. And we can sit up nice and tall. We're going to bend one knee and then the other. Keep that strap nice and close to your side. We're going to go into a hamstring series here. So we're going to lower ourselves down. Our back is on the mat. We are going to do just a little bit of a mobility drill before we get into our stretch. So we're going to wrap that strap around our right foot. Both of our legs are over our hips. So here is my cueing for if you are new to this or you just happen to have tight hamstrings. What we're going to do is we're going to bring that right leg far away from our body. And we're going to start to flex our foot and press it to the ceiling. Once we press it to the ceiling, we firm up our quad. We can do it at the same time. We can squeeze our quad as we press through our foot. And then from there, I want you to slowly move your leg slightly closer to, because I want you to keep that leg straight. We're getting into the hamstring. So once you find that position, and even if that means that you're not over your hip, that's okay. We want good form. So good form means a straight leg, firm quad, flexed foot. So with both of our hands on the strap, we can drop our elbows to the ground so we're slightly relaxed here. Now this left leg is going to come up and down. So you use your range of motion. You do what feels good for you. But keep that left foot flexed and keep it straight. We go for 3 more here. And 2 more. And last 1. And then we'll bring that left leg up and we'll switch. So that left foot just comes into that strap and then that right leg is free. So now same thing with the left leg. We push it away from our body. We flex our left foot, pressing it into the ceiling or the wall, and we firm up our quad, trying to get as straight of a leg as we possibly can. Then both of our hands hold the straps. Our triceps are on the mat, and we bring that leg a little bit closer to us. And now the right leg comes up and down for 6. We pull our abdominals in. We're inhaling and exhaling. One more. And now that right leg comes back up and we press our left foot into the strap. Our left leg comes long. Our right leg is in the strap. Our triceps are still on the ground. Now, if we need to reset our leg, go ahead and do so that your leg is straight, your foot is flexed. And with that, we're going to start to pull our leg in towards our body. But the goal here is this left leg. We want it to be straight, and we want the hamstring to be pressing into the mat as well. If you are not there yet, bend your foot or bend your knee and plant your foot, and that's fine. That is totally fine. Just wherever you are, you want that firm foundation with your left leg, and we pull that right leg into our chest. And we can release that leg. Now we're going to pass the strap to our right hand. And we're going to let that right elbow be wide on our mat. And we let that right leg fall open. Now again, we want a straight leg and a flexed foot. So if that means that you're below your hip, that's fine. Again, just anchor your arm to the mat and let that leg fall open. But we want this left hip on the ground. We're pulling our abdominals in. I like to place my hand on the hip to remind me that I'm not letting my hip fall open. I'm letting it stay squared to the ceiling. And then we come back to center, pass the strap off to the left hand. Now this one, don't turn it into a twist. We again want our hips to be on the ground as we let that leg fall over to the left side. Now this you might feel more in your IT band or on the outside of your leg. That's great. Wherever you feel it is great. That left elbow can drop onto the mat, supporting your leg and trying to keep your hips on the mat. Pull your abdominals in and breathe. We'll come back to center, and now we're going to switch legs. So lift that left leg up, and we put that strap around the ball of our foot, and then we bring that right leg. Either we plant it to the mat, or we bring it out long. We start to set that left leg up so we can get it straight. We flex that foot, we firm up our quad. We drop our elbows to the ground, and we pull that leg in towards our head. Now we take that strap, we pass it to our left hand as we let that left leg fall open to the left side. Again, my hand is on my hip because I'm keeping my hips down. I'm keeping my left leg straight. My foot is flexed, my quads are firmed up, and I breathe. Then that leg comes back through center. We pass the strap over to the right side. We drop our elbow, and we don't let our hips come off the mat. We just let that leg fall over. Even if it's the world's smallest amount, it's okay. We breathe. We firm up our quads, and we flex our foot. And we come back to center, and we take that strap off and we put it to the side. Hopefully your hamstrings feel a little bit looser. From here, we're going to come to our bridge pose, so arms are long, palms are down. And my feet are going to be about bony hip distance apart. I know a lot of people like to be wide, but I prefer that you're more in line with your natural stance. So your hips, knees, and ankles are always in line with each other. Arms are long. Pull our belly button in. Big inhale here. Exhale. We press those hips up to the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes and hamstrings. Pull your abdominals in and actively press into your arms. We're going to take 3 more breaths holding this position. And then lower yourself all the way back down. Great. We're going to do that one more time. So plant your feet, plant your arms, pull your abdominals in. Big inhale, and then exhale. Press up. This time we can start to walk our shoulders underneath us, interlace our fingers, and drop them down to the ground. 2 more breaths here. And then let go. And then let yourself come all the way back down. We're going to come to a twist here. So that left leg is going to cross all the way over the right. We can use our right hand to help those knees over to the side. My left shoulder is doing its best to stay on the ground as I reach my left arm long, and my eyes gaze at my left arm. So we're in that full body twist. So my head looks away from my feet. Pull your abdominals in and take 3 rounds of breath here. And then come back to center, and we'll switch sides. So uncross that left leg. The right leg crosses over the left. My right arm is long. My shoulder tries to stay on the ground as I guide my knees away from my right shoulder. And my gaze is at the right shoulder, or the right hand. So we take 3 rounds of breath here. Pull your abdominals in. And then we'll come back to center. We'll uncross our legs. We're going to come into our happy baby pose. So we lift those legs long. And this is where we can bend our knees. We want to bend our knees as much as we can. And I guess I lied to you. You can use your straps for this one. For those of you who have really tight hamstrings, feel free to wrap it around the ball of your foot and then try to bring your knees into your chest. And you can open them a bit wider because we do want our knees to be to the outside of our torso, and we want our low back to be flat. So let's hold it here before we rock. Pull those abdominals in. Lengthen through your spine wherever you're at. 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. And then we can rock. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring that right leg in and that left leg long as we rock over to that left side. Take 2 breaths here. And switch, right leg's long, left leg's bent. And we breathe here for 2 rounds of breath. And then come back to center. Drop your legs down. You can make your way to Shavasana. Bring one leg long and then the other. Bring one hand to your belly and the other to your heart. And let's focus on our breath here. You can start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. You bend your left leg and plant your foot. Bend your right leg and plant your foot. And then roll onto your side. Pausing for a moment here. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands together. Take a moment to thank yourself for being here. And I thank you for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to our time together again soon. Thank you.